Welcome to Arcana Drive. My name is Arcana, but I won't be a driver this evening because I'm fucking stupid. So, I went to record and then it turned out... Okay, get the fuck out of bed. I was in the nether and I was like, oh, I don't want to do another episode where I'm just in the nether, right? And so I left the nether and then I came down to enchant. I enchanted this bow and this thing. I tried to enchant all this stuff, but I couldn't, right? Because I need to get sugarcane and paper. I couldn't do that because, you can only enchant things, I guess, like, a couple times. I don't know how it works. This is my boat. And so I was like, okay, I guess I'll go, make a lectern for the guy, to have employment. And so I did that, and that was great. Sorry, it sounds like my computer's exploding, but it might just be because I've got my headphones in. Yeah, I was like, okay, I'm going to get a lectern, do the guy, blah, 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 and see what I can get and see if there's anything interesting. And I realized that I hadn't hit record after getting home. And I was talking. So, what topics did you miss? Not a lot. I kept repeating myself. I kept saying, hello, I'm not used to this. I'm not sick, blah, blah, blah. We've got a week left, I think. We got like 7 episodes left. Till the finale! I said this episode, the one that you're watching now, is going to be the preparation. Do I have any sugarcane? Said we're going to find sugarcane. Okay. I had a lot of quartz. Check it. My quartz. Oh wow, a diamond pickaxe would be fun. Wow. Got all that shit. Oh, I need to put my compass to home. All this. I took all this to do trading. We're not doing trading yet. Okay. Yippee. I'm on peaceful, which I probably shouldn't be, but... Well, I was on peaceful in the nether, you see. And I just left it. Let's... No, I don't need any tools for this. Okay, let's look for sugarcane, I guess. And see if we can get some trades. Another thing I talked about was I was talking about what I was listening to while in the nether. I'm one of those people that watches videos while I play games. I have 2 monitors, so it's actually, if it's a repetitive task in Minecraft, it's actually very efficient to, like, watch a video. You can actually look at it as you're mining and crafting. Yeah. I did that. I watched a few, feminist literature essays. Not literature, media. Literature was a part of it at times, but there was actually a lot of movies as well. I'm looking for sugarcane. If I see sugarcane and walk past it, and I see it when I'm editing, I'm gonna scream! No! Ah, yeah. I don't know. That's it. I said how, because I said I was watching feminist video essay type things, and then I said, well, actually it was just, like, media analysis. It wasn't, like, actual, like, feminist topics. And then I said the reason for that is because I number one, I don't like to listen to... This makes me sound like I'm a bad feminist. What I mean by that is I don't, it's not that I don't like to listen to feminist stuff on, like, listen or watch feminist stuff in my free time. I do. But number one, I have to engage with that kind of stuff in relatively, easy to digest doses in terms of, like, being a woman and listening to, like, feminist topics can be a little difficult and kind of depressing, because it's like, you'll be like, I'm having such a great time today, and it's like, did you know that a lot of men don't think women should have rights? And I'm like, ah, okay, yay, no way. So it can be pretty hard to listen to a lot of that stuff. Number two, I think that stuff is important and should have like as much as your focus as you can give it. I don't think it should be background fodder while playing Minecraft. And then I went on to ask, do you ever watch serious videos in the background? I mean, I watch serious videos in the background, but like, not necessarily weighty ones, you know? I like things that I can, like I said, digest if I'm multitasking. And I would find that unbecoming of me to do if, like, I just find it kind of wrong to put someone's important essay on, like, feminism in the modern age, whilst I'm, like, mining quartz in Minecraft. Do you know what I mean? I've never been... I mean, I've watched a few serious videos. I'm not really big on true crime YouTube. I've always been interested in true crime because my mum is, so I grew up with that kind of stuff. Like, I used to read books when I was little about, and I do mean when I was little, about like Ted Bundy and Jeffrey Dahmer and stuff. And I'm quite glad that in spite of that, I'm still a very sensitive person. I'm very sensitive to blood and gore and harm. I've seen a lot of people, a lot of reason I dislike the true crime community is like, there'll be a video about like the most horrifying murder to ever happen to like just the like nicest teenage girl ever. And all the comments will be like, wow, this didn't even disturb me. Wow. Haha. I'm so fucked up in the head. I didn't even cry. And I'm like, I did. Are you kidding? What's... That's not a flex. You're a weirdo. Hey, my nether portal that I destroyed and didn't take back the wool for. Kind of swag, actually, the corners. Yeah, I don't really like... I find this stuff interesting. And I'm always curious to know... Because for me, I'm always curious about, like, the psychology of it. I'm a very weak-willed person. And I'm not someone who, like... is violent at all. So I've always struggled to wrap my head around that kind of stuff. And my mom, like, she's always been interested about it from, like, a emotive and psychology standpoint, too. She doesn't have any true crime and chill t-shirts, God bless. So, like, I'm not averse to listening to this kind of stuff. But it's treated a lot as a commodity. I feel like the problem with engaging with true crime is that a lot of people view it as a form of entertainment and, like, it's a commodity as opposed to, like, real stories about real people. And I find that to be most unfortunate because they are real people. And granted, I don't think, like, the foreign relatives of the victim are going to stumble across your English-speaking video where you, like, eat Domino's pizza and discuss this, but I still think there should be a level of decorum when discussing this stuff that just doesn't seem to be present. I don't know. Like, a lot of people make jokes. I just think there's something to, I don't know, a relative degree of moral reprehensibility to go into your sponsor at, like, the clickbait part of the story where it's like, and you won't believe what he did to her next. Thank you so much to NordVPN for sponsoring today's video. And it's like, huh? Or like, they'll make jokes or like, you know, like, oh, that was kind of slay. What are you talking about? And like, I feel like it's harder to engage with true crime content in the age of like people electing to censor words for genuinely no good reason. Oh, so the killer unalived the victim. Huh? The unaliver unalived the unalivee. Eh? Yeah, what? What the fuck are you talking about? Oh, there was a bit of, grape involved. I'm outside your house. Like, I am. I'm outside it. With a gun! I'm gonna show you some fucking true crime. Are you for real? How can you, like, go to bed and sleep at night knowing you've, like, talked about like real victims in this way. Because like, here's the thing. I think human atrocities should be discussed and known about. In the sense that like, you know, I guess it's like slacktivism in a way, but like you should be aware and you should know that like these things can do happen. Because it's like, well, don't get into strangers' vans and don't do this and don't do that, right? And you can avoid this and also like, you know, in knowing that these people are horrible, I feel like it sort of condemns their name in a way, right? Which we can get to that in a second. But, you know, I'm not against people discussing these things, and I'm not against even, like, tele documentaries so long as they're, truthful and respectful. But the thing is, your motive becomes known the second you even consider whether or not to say unalived. Your motive becomes known. You're not discussing this to, like, bring awareness to the case or, like, you know, discuss, like, anything of actual interest in terms of, like, the advancement of criminal forensics or the intrigue of psychological profiling or you know, the amazing way this crime was solved or something like that, right? There's none of that if you're saying the word unalived. You know what there is? Dollar signs, money. All I can see, if you say unalived and stuff like that, all I can see is like just big fucking Mr. Krabs fucking greedy claws extending from behind you and snatching a paycheck. Your motivation to discuss the heinous acts that have happened before in humanity should never ever be the monetization aspect of the video, right? Because why are you, as a supposed moral agent here, trying to capitalize financially on these horrible occurrences? That shouldn't even be something that... If we were in an age where, like, you truly couldn't say kill, murder, rape, death, suicide, we would know, right? And if this video gets, like, deleted from YouTube, which it won't, because that's not how that works, then we'll know. But, like, the problem that I have is, like, it's not that the videos get, like, deleted from YouTube. I'm sure they do after a certain degree, but, like, you shouldn't be retelling the events that graphically anyway, because it's disrespectful. So, 2 birds, 1 stone. But, like, damn, there's a lot more sugarcane than I thought there'd be. This has been quite lucrative. But, like... Oh my god, I thought that was a bear. It's a cow. The only thing that happens if you say the naughty fuck, murder, kill, bastard, cunt words... The only thing that actually happens is your video is ineligible for monetization. Now, I understand these people have to make a living somehow, but, like, make a living not like this. Like, have another channel or something where you say, like, where you do the eating and the makeup and the chatting, like, and the funny jokes. Don't have this all be one thing. Like, you're... Okay, I understand that, like, oh, well, police investigators technically make a living off of atrocities. Sure, but, like, they're doing something to help. Me sat on my fat ass chowing down on different Cheeto flavors whilst being like, and then her eyes were pulled out and her teeth were pulled out. Like, that's not helping anyone, right? I don't know. It actually gets to under my skin a lot. And also, like, I don't... And this is a vocal minority, as is the case with most, bad and/or / annoying things. But, like, I'm not against bringing up horrific cases. I think there's a time and a place and a way to discuss these things, as I've been saying, but I'm not against, like, continued interest in them. However, if you're like, aw, Jeffrey Dahmer, he's my favorite serial killer. Like, it's okay to have, like, an interest in one more than the other. I have particular interest in Jeffrey Dahmer because, like, his psychology is the most interesting to me because I feel like there are, like, you know, there are aspects of loneliness to his character that have been portrayed in the media, which may be entirely false, by the way. I'm a very lonely person myself, and I've never thought to kill people and do stuff like that, so I find it, interesting, in that light, right? But I would never think to go, oh, Bless Is Gone sucks. Like, and the TV show? Ooh. Don't get me started on the TV show. I might get started on the TV show next episode. I didn't watch it myself. Like, I did, but my roommates at the time were already watching it. So, like, yeah, I didn't support it in any way, but I did just happen to stay in the room as it was on anyways. So, yeah, I don't even have Netflix or whatever the hell it was on. But yeah, there's my rant. Glad to start off the post-sickness era with a nice relaxing conversation about fun and lovely things, but I don't know. People like when I have an opinion. I only have good opinions. Except when I don't, and then I change my opinion. Hooray! Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye bye!